Hello, everybody. This is Joseph P. Farrell with news and views from the Nefarium on Thursday, May 25th, 2023. And yes, they did it in Nigeria, and we'll get back to that after we take care of our housekeeping. Tomorrow, don't forget, we do have a vid chat that's scheduled for 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time. I'll be in there early, as usual, for a little pre-chat banter. And also, just in case I need to start the vid chat early and get through it early, I do not want to reschedule. They are predicting, and have been all week, pop-up storms. So far, none have occurred, so I'm crossing my fingers, taking a chance that we can actually do a scheduled vid chat without the threat of storms, power outages, and all of the stuff that go with it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, get your questions and comments in by 10 o'clock tonight. That's 10 o'clock U.S. Central Time. Please remember to keep your selections short, to the point, so that we can get as many people lined up. We do not have very many questions going into this vid chat at all. I suspect it's because many of you live in the United Soviet Socialist States of America and are getting ready for the Memorial Day weekend. If so, please travel carefully and safely. But for those of you who don't, or who've been hesitating to get questions into VidChat, now's your chance. So get them posted in the comment area under today's or tomorrow's VidChat, and take advantage of the circumstance. All right. In Nigeria, they did it. They attempted to roll out a central bank digital currency, and they attempted to do so and go completely cashless. And the experiment has been a gigantic failure. So I want to read this entire article to you. It's very short, but very interesting, from Zero Hedge to you, because this kind of gives a summary of what they attempted to do. And I suspect that hidden in between the lines is the reason that this is turning into a colossal, unstabilizing failure. It's datelined 2 days ago. It's authored by Martin Armstrong, and it's titled Africa's First Test Run for a CBDC. And I do wish we'd quit this business of abbreviations. Central bank digital currency has failed. Quote, the transition to central bank digital currency in Nigeria did not go as planned. The elites always seek out African nations to use as their test subjects. Nigeria attempted to slowly roll out the program dubbed e-naira, and the naira is the Nigerian unit of currency, built on the Hyperledger Fabric blockchain. The Central Bank of Nigeria is solely responsible for running the nodes of this digital currency. Beginning stress tests stated this currency could execute 2,000 transactions per section. And it doesn't say what the unit of time is for that 2,000 transaction. In October 2021, the government began offering incentives to citizens who chose to use the central bank digital currency. A year later, the country was still hesitant to make the switch, so the central bank began implementing forceful measures. In October of 2022, the Central Bank of Nigeria decided to cancel and resign the currency in, quote, a move aimed at restoring the control of the Central Bank of Nigeria over the currency in circulation, unquote. I hope you listen very carefully to that sentence. Let me try it again. In October of 2022, the Central Bank of Nigeria decided to cancel and resign the currency in a, quote, move aimed at restoring the control of the Central Bank of Nigeria over currency in circulation, unquote. They stated that the original paper notes would only be legal tender until January 31st, 2023, leaving the people with no alternative but to convert their cash. Nigerians were no stranger to the concept of currency cancellation, as it is something the government has routinely done. Get too far in debt, too much money in circulation, just cancel the currency. The Central Bank of Nigeria openly announced that the end goal was to target a 100% cashless society, replaced with the e-naira. Fewer than 0.5% of Nigerians adopted the e-naira, and protests erupted across the nation. By December 2nd, 2022, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued a letter to all banking institutes implementing a strict ban on physical cash. The central bank set a cash withdrawal limit of 100,000 nairas, that's about $225 per week, for individuals, and $500,000, about $1,125 for businesses. Citizens wishing to take out larger sums were subject to a processing fee of between 5 and 10%. ATMs were limited to 20,000 nairas, that's about $45 per day, and only 200 nairas. 200 naira notes or lower denominations were available in the machines. Bloomberg reported that 90% of the country previously used cash for transactions. They did not want to convert to a central bank digital currency, but were provided with no alternative. Demonetizing the currency reduced available cash from 3.2 trillion nairas to 1 trillion nairas. This led to the central bank creating over 10 billion e-nairas. The people are continually protesting these measures, as their society, which was largely dependent on cash interactions, has been destabilized. This is how it all begins. They are using Nigeria and other countries as test subjects before rolling these programs out in the West. It is hard for Americans to fathom currency cancellation, as it has never occurred here. Yet, the Federal Reserve has made it clear that they are looking into this option. Per usual, they market it as a, quote, convenience, unquote, for the people. In truth, it is a way to ensure that money stays on the grid under the thumb of the government. They will not allow 1 cent to go untaxed, and as the program expands, they can remove individuals and organizations from participating in society entirely, unquote. And folks, if you've been watching the stories that are now emerging about a certain well-known large American bank, which has been closing the accounts of people for apparently no other reason than their political or cultural leaning, that is what you're faced with. Now, fortunately, there are certain states already passing bills outlawing a central bank digital currency, or allowing central banks to create a gold-backed or silver-backed digital currency. Now, folks, to me, that's nothing but a ploy. They're saying that this will be fully convertible and that you can use the gold and silver as legal tender in transactions. I'm not buying it, because I think what they're trying to do is sucker punch people, the old bait and switch. What you need are actual physically circulating paper certificates of deposit like we used to have. And that needs to be recognized as a convertible instrument to the actual specie money, so that any bank will have to both take them and use them in their transaction. None of this convertibility in Austin or things like that. But my point here is, this is precisely what they want to do. It is a beast system, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, or whether you think it's all just wonderful or not. It is a beast system. Now, I don't know about you folks, but what they're attempting to do is something that I hope sends shudders down everybody's spine. They're attempting really to enslave the world to them. Now, if you want that kind of world, you have to realize that what they're really telling you is that they want everybody to be serfs to the likes of Bill Gates or George Soros or Christine Lagarde or der Hochklaus von Blowschwab, Freiherr von Baumburst. This is what they're telling you. And if you want those kinds of people telling you how to live and cramming wokery down your throat, then by all means use the central bank digital currencies. But I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a lot of people that would rather die on their feet than die on their knees. And I think if this was destabilizing in Nigeria, we haven't seen anything yet. I think that will be the final straw that broke the camel's back. And if pursued in conjunction with John Kerry, you'll recall that he's recently come out in favor of confiscation of farms in order to fight climate change. Well, this is a mechanism by which to do that. Oh, you were caught planting XYZ types of seeds, you're not combating climate change, you're a lawbreaker, you don't care about the world, blah, 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 so we need your land. So yeah, they're doubling down on their tyranny, folks. And I think we're fast approaching the time that we have to send some very clear, unmistakable signals that no, they don't. No, you don't. This is the line, you go no further. Anyway, that's it for today's news and views. Don't forget, please get any questions, comments in by 10 o'clock tonight. We don't have that very many questions or comments at all thus far. I hope that this does not trigger a last-minute rush of people flooding with comments and questions, because I do have to look out for the possibility of some bad weather tomorrow. But anyway, I will be there probably a little early to get the vid chat started with our usual pre-chat banter. And if we don't have that many questions tomorrow, if it is a rather thin vid chat, I will do the vid chat and stick around for some more informal chat on the vid chat so that we are able to air everything that we're thinking. Anyway, that's it for today's news and views from the Nefarium. We'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Bye-bye, and God bless.